Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to get into the art of persuasion.
Oh, yeah.
We're going deep into copywriting and advertising
Love it.
with some legends too.
Absolutely.
I've got Joseph Sugarman, John Carlton. These guys cracked the code on how to write words that people will not only read,
Yeah.
but that actually get results.
It's amazing, right?
It is.
It's not just like theory.
Right.
They've got so many stories.
Yeah.
Real world stuff.
Yeah.
Successes and failures and those aha moments that really make you remember the lessons.
So we're going way beyond textbook stuff here. You're getting the experience
You got it.
straight from the masters themselves.
Exactly.
So where do we even begin with all this wisdom?
Well, one of the most powerful ideas, I think, is Sugarman's core idea. Never sell a product or service, sell a concept.
Okay, that is a game changer. So explain that a little bit more.
It's about understanding the underlying desire or problem that your product actually solves.
Okay.
So think of it like this. Let's say you're selling a blender,
Okay.
a high-tech blender. You're not just selling the features.
Right.
You're selling healthy, living, delicious smoothies.
Yeah.
And maybe even a bit of, I'm on top of my game,
Right,
social status.
I'm so healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I make my own smoothies.
I'm with it.
Right.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So it's about digging deeper,
Yes.
finding that emotional hook, because like Sugarman says, emotion trumps logic.
That's right.
People buy on how they feel, and then they try and justify it with logic.
Yeah, they do.
Which brings us to that brilliant ad, the Pocket Yellow Pages ad.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Remember those early electronic directories?
Yeah.
Instead of listing all the features, all
Yeah.
the tech specs, Sugarman focuses on the feeling of being ahead of the curve. So imagine yourself in a crowded place,
Yeah.
and you whip out this sleek little device.
Yeah.
You're the envy of everyone.
I am.
That's the emotional sell.
That's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, it is. That is good. It's like selling the sizzle, not just the steak.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of sizzle, Sugarman has a great anecdote about
Oh, yeah.
an alphanumeric pager ad.
Mm-hmm.
So those early attempts,
Yes.
they were focused on the features and they totally bombed.
Mm-hmm.
But when he tapped into the emotional appeal,
Yes.
that desire to be cool,
Yeah.
have the latest gadget, boom, sales skyrocketed.
You got it.
Yeah,
It's crazy how powerful that is.
it is.
We think we make decisions based on pure logic,
Yeah,
but it comes down to emotion.
so much, yeah.
I think we buy the feeling, the experience, the idea.
Yeah.
And that's true for even mundane things, like even a vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
You could list all the suction power and HEPA filters, but if you can tap in to the feeling of a clean, fresh-smelling home,
Yes.
the satisfaction of just effortlessly gliding across the floor, you got a winner.
That's old.
Right.
Where do I sign? So, okay, that totally makes sense. It's about speaking to the heart, not just the head.
Yes.
But how do you actually do that? Is it all just gut feeling?
Well, I think that's where some specific techniques come in.
Okay.
And one that Sugarman highlights is curiosity,
Okay, curiosity.
especially in situations like mail order,
Yeah.
where you don't have that instant gratification.
Yeah.
You don't see the product in person.
Yeah, you can't hold it in your hand.
Exactly.
He talks about Steve Dorman,
Yeah.
who ran this perfume ad
Mm-hmm.
that just relied on piquing the reader's curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
And it totally challenged this assumption that
Yeah.
you can't sell perfume that way.
Totally.
But you know what? It worked.
It worked.
It did.
It's amazing.
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you pique the reader's curiosity?
It's about teasing the reader just enough to make them want to know more.
Yeah, okay.
Think about movie trailers
Okay.
that leave you on the edge of your seat,
Yeah.
wanting to see what happens. They don't give you the whole plot.
Right.
They just give you a taste.
A little whiff.
A whiff, right,
Yep.
of
Yeah.
something intriguing.
Like a trail of breadcrumbs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Leading the reader down the path.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But once you've got them hooked with curiosity, how do you get them to actually take the plunge?
Well, another technique is creating urgency.
Okay, urgency.
Limited time offers, exclusive deals. That feeling that if you don't act now,
Yeah.
you'll miss out.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those only while supplies last
Yeah.
deals?
Totally.
It's gold. Pure psychological gold.
Pure gold, yeah.
And Sugarman tells the story about...
I love his stories.
I know, right? He gets talked into buying this ridiculously expensive snowmobile
No.
just because the salesman made it sound like There were only a few left in the States.
Scarcity.
Scarcity.
I want it more now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it plays on that FOMO.
FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
It's deeply human.
But here's the thing. Too much choice
Oh, I know where you're going with this. Too much choice.
can actually paralyze the buyer.
It really can.
So Sugarman calls this analysis paralysis,
Yeah.
and he argues that you got to keep it simple
In your
offers.
So important.
And he had this experience
I know this one.
with a company
Mm-hmm.
that wanted him to market their line of Swiss Army watches.
Yes.
They had like 9 styles.
I remember that. It was so many.
He was like, bombarding customers with options is just going to confuse them.
Yeah.
So he helped them simplify, focus on a few key models. I think that's true today, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Especially online, there's just
Too many choices.
so many choices. So if you can cut through that noise and offer a clear, compelling reason to choose your product,
You're ahead of the game.
you're winning.
You're winning. Less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got sell the concept, emotion over logic, spark curiosity, create urgency,
Yeah.
and keep it simple.
It's a good list.
What else have we got in the world of persuasive copywriting?
Well, John Carlton,
Oh, John Carlton.
he brings a whole other layer
Okay.
with his concept of the slippery slide of copy.
What's that?
Imagine your ad as a salesperson,
Okay.
and they know how to hook the customer and keep them engaged
Okay.
from the very first sentence to the very last.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold back either.
Oh.
He says your ad needs to reach out and pinch them on the ass to get their attention.
I love this guy.
It's about grabbing the reader
Yeah.
and taking them on a journey they can't resist.
So what makes copy slippery?
I think it's about structure, rhythm, and clarity.
Okay.
Carlton believes in short,
Punchy sentences, strong transitions, and headings that act like signposts. They guide the reader down the page.
so the headings are important.
He even says that they don't have to directly relate
Really?
the text below.
So they can be misleading.
A little bit.
How does that work?
It's like a movie trailer.
Okay.
They use dramatic music and visuals and snippets of dialogue to pique your interest.
Yeah.
Even if those snippets are out of context,
Yeah.
it's about creating that pull to see the whole thing.
I see.
And that's what Carlton's doing with copy.
Okay.
He's sparking curiosity, even if he's bending the rules a little bit.
Okay.
It's about keeping the reader engaged.
I see. So they don't just skip over it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty clever. I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Yeah.
The concept, the emotion, the structure,
Yeah.
the flow. But I think it's time we looked at some real world examples,
I agree.
to see how these masters put these principles into action.
Let's dive in. All right, so let's take a look at Joe Carbo's Lazy Man's Way to Riches ad.
Okay.
This thing sold millions of books.
Wow.
And for good reason.
What made it so successful?
Well, the headline itself, I think, is pure genius. The Lazy Man's Way to Riches. Who wouldn't want to know that secret? Right.
Yeah.
It taps into that desire for effortless success.
It does.
And then the copy is conversational, almost folksy.
Okay.
It feels really genuine and relatable.
Okay.
It's like he's sitting across from you at the kitchen table, sharing a secret, like over a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like a typical, sales pitch.
No.
And he uses that satisfaction conviction.
Oh, yeah.
He promises not to cash your check for 31 days.
It's brilliant.
That's a powerful way to eliminate risk, right?
Totally. It builds trust.
Yeah.
It takes away hesitation.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is this ad was written instinctively
Why?
with very little editing.
So it's like raw passion.
Raw, unfiltered passion.
Just came out.
Just flowing out of him.
That's awesome.
And sometimes I think the most effective writing comes from that place of just pure enthusiasm and belief.
Yeah. And that's something that we see again in the Magic Stat Thermostat ad.
Yes. This one takes a different approach.
How so?
Well, it actually highlights the product's flaws.
Really?
It talks about the ugly case, the lack of a digital readout. It even says it has a stupid name.
Wait, who would do that?
Right?
Call attention to your weaknesses.
I know. It seems so counterintuitive.
It does.
But that's what makes it so brilliant.
Okay, so how does that work then?
Well, by acknowledging the negatives up front, they build trust. and credibility.
Okay.
It makes them seem honest and transparent, like they're not trying to hide anything. And then they use humor and a conversational tone to create an engaging, almost self-deprecating style.
So it's like, hey, look, this thing's not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's really good at what it does. And we're not afraid to poke fun at ourselves.
Exactly.
So, okay, I get it.
It makes you want to root for them.
I kind of do.
Right.
Yeah, it's working.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
And you know what? This ties back to Sugarman's idea of involving the reader in the process. He tells a story.
I love his story.
Right. About his daughter, Jill, who wrote a guinea pig ad when she was 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
And she instinctively understood how to anticipate the reader's questions and provide answers.
Wow.
So it felt like a conversation.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
At 8.
I know. She was tapping into that core principle.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So it's not just about talking at your audience.
No.
It's about talking with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anticipating their needs. Addressing their concerns.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like that.
And speaking of needs and concerns, let's talk about hope as a motivator.
Okay, hope.
Especially for products that promise, future benefits.
Okay.
Think about health foods.
Okay.
Self-improvement programs.
Right.
They're selling you a vision.
Right.
A better you.
A better me.
Yeah. A better you.
Yeah, I'm in.
But then Sugarman makes this interesting observation.
What's that?
He says it's often easier to sell a cure than a preventative measure.
Interesting.
People are more likely to buy something that solves an immediate problem than something that
prevents one.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
right?
Yeah, if I'm in pain,
Yeah,
I'm more motivated to find relief. But if it's a future problem,
yeah,
I'm like, I'll deal with it later.
exactly.
It's like convincing people to save for retirement.
Exactly.
Like it feels so far off.
It does.
Yeah, it's hard to prioritize.
That's the challenge for marketers.
Yeah.
How do you convince someone to invest in something that might not have immediate results?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
How do you bridge that gap then? Make those preventative measures appealing.
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
I think you'd have to connect that future benefit to a present emotion.
Okay.
Make it feel real and relevant to their life.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Good stuff.
And that's where language comes in.
The language.
Carlton talks about using trigger words.
Okay, trigger words.
Words that resonate with your audience's desires, their fears and aspirations.
So you really have to understand your audience.
You have to.
Yeah.
You got to know their language.
Their values.
Yeah.
The things that keep them up at night.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not just about words that sound good. It's about words that trigger an emotional response.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like that.
And speaking of emotional responses, Sugarman also talks about addressing objections head on.
Don't shy away from them.
Don't bring them up.
Okay.
He says to anticipate those but what if questions and have a ready answer.
Okay. So you're not just ignoring those potential problems.
Address them directly.
Okay.
He even suggests highlighting potential negatives, like in the JSNA chess computer ad. They mentioned up front that it didn't come with a board or pieces.
Interesting.
Because they knew that most people preferred
their own.
to use their own.
That's pretty clever.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
By addressing it, they turn it into a positive.
They do.
It's about being transparent.
Yeah.
Building trust.
Right. And speaking of trust.
Oh, yes.
Testimonials are another tactic, right?
Absolutely. But they have to come from credible sources.
Okay. Yeah. People you respect and admire.
People your audience will trust. Sugarman, he used astronaut Wally Schirra to endorse his mid-X security system.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty impressive.
If an astronaut trusts it, it must be good.
It must be.
So it's about aligning yourself with people who embody the values that your product represents.
So you're like borrowing their credibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sugarman also talks about being specific.
Okay, be specific.
Especially when it comes to facts.
Rah.
Don't just say, dentists recommend this toothpaste. Say, 92% of dentists recommend it.
Give me the numbers.
Give me the number. It makes your claims feel more credible.
Yeah, less generic.
Less hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where storytelling comes in.
Storytelling.
Sugarman, he's a big believer.
I love his stories.
Right. In the power of narrative. He tells this story.
I bet I know which one.
about how he almost went bankrupt.
You got it.
Yeah.
And he weaves it into his copy.
Wow.
It shows that he understands the struggles.
Right.
He gets it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Right. It humanizes him.
Totally. Makes him relatable.
Exactly. And it's like that saying, people don't buy what you do.
Yeah.
They buy why you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling lets you show your why.
Your why, yeah.
And it can also introduce a sense of intrigue.
Like the Blue Blocker sunglasses ad.
Yes.
I love that ad.
Yeah.
He didn't just like list features and benefits. He told the story of how he discovered them.
Yes.
The unique technology, how they made him feel.
Yeah.
It's like, I want those sunglasses.
He creates a sense of mystery.
Yeah, I want to experience those sunglasses for myself.
He created a world.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so we've got concept, emotion, urgency, testimonials, specificity, and storytelling.
Yeah.
What else should we keep in mind when crafting that the compelling copy?
Well, rhythm and flow are crucial.
Okay, rhythm and flow.
Carlton talks about how writing has to have that natural cadence, that movement that pulls you along.
Okay.
Like music, if the rhythm is off, it's jarring.
Yeah.
But when it flows,
Yeah.
it's almost hypnotic.
Okay. So how you say it
Yeah.
is as important as what you say.
Exactly.
Okay.
And remember his strong opinions about paragraph headings?
Mm-hmm.
They need to be intriguing, attention-grabbing, even if they don't relate.
I know. It's crazy. But it works.
It does.
Yeah.
It keeps you going.
It does. It does. And speaking of keeping the reader engaged,
Yes.
Sugarman is all about humor
Humor.
in advertising.
Yes.
He says it's a great tool for breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
But it has to be genuine.
It has to be.
It can't feel forced.
It can't feel forced.
No.
It has to be national.
Like a shared joke.
Yeah. Like you're with a friend.
Yeah, that's a good point. And speaking of friends,
Yes.
Sugarman talks about being personal in your copy. Like you're writing to one person.
One person, not a crowd.
Yeah.
It creates that intimacy.
Yeah, that one-on-one
Yeah.
makes you feel seen
It does.
and heard.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like that.
It's about relationships, not just sales.
Okay.
And a big part of that is authenticity. Sugarman, he wants copywriters to be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Let their own voice, their personality shine through.
Yeah, don't try to be somebody you're not.
Yeah.
People can spot a phony
They can.
a mile away.
Right.
So be yourself.
Be yourself. Exactly.
Good advice.
But being yourself doesn't mean being careless.
Right.
These books also talk about editing.
Editing.
Sugarman has this whole process, multiple drafts, revisions, and what he calls incubation periods.
Incubation periods.
Yeah.
What's that?
Let the copy sit for a while.
Oh, okay.
Come back to it with fresh eyes. Like a sculptor chipping away at marble. You're revealing the masterpiece.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So it's about refining your work, making it sharp and impactful.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it's not just about technical stuff.
Okay.
It's about empathy and understanding.
Okay.
Sugarman says the best copywriters are the ones who are
Mm-hmm.
genuinely interested in people. They can put themselves in their shoes, understand their needs and desires.
Right.
It's about seeing the world through your audience's eyes, feeling what they feel, wanting what they want.
Right.
Only then can you really connect.
Connect with them on a deeper level.
Yeah.
That's good. It's like that saying, to sell John Smith what John Smith buys,
Yeah.
you must see John Smith through John Smith's eyes.
Exactly.
But seeing through someone else's eyes can be hard.
It can.
You need some humility and self-awareness.
Yeah. And that's something these books encourage, too.
Okay, good. So how do we get that?
Well, Sugarman talks about being open to feedback,
Okay. Be open.
being willing to learn, even admitting you're wrong sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
He tells a funny story about...
Or I bet I know this one too. About his sister.
You got it.
I love that story.
His sister was a high school teacher,
Yeah.
and he would have her proofread his copy.
Yeah.
He knew she had a great eye for grammar
Yeah.
and punctuation.
And he wasn't afraid to take her critiques.
Not at all.
It's a good reminder, I think, that we can all benefit from outside perspectives.
Absolutely.
There's always room for improvement.
Oh.
Right. And these books also talk about the ethics of copywriting.
Yeah, ethics is really important.
So Sugarman's big on honesty
He is.
and transparency, even if it means highlighting flaws.
Sometime.
He says that if you try and deceive your audience, it'll backfire.
It will.
People can sense when they're being manipulated.
Absolutely.
It erodes trust.
Big time.
Big time.
Yeah.
But honesty doesn't mean being boring, right?
Yeah.
You can still be creative.
Absolutely.
Find unique and compelling ways
to
present your products and ideas.
He talks about stepping outside your comfort zone, trying new things.
Experiment.
Yeah. That's where the magic happens.
I love that. Be bold. Be innovative. Take risks. And have fun.
Yeah.
Sugarman says, if you're not enjoying yourself, it's going to show.
It will.
And the audience will pick up on it.
Absolutely. They'll know.
So love what you do.
Yeah.
But don't get complacent.
No.
These books also encourage, keep learning, keep improving.
Continuous learning.
And Sugarman, he's always curious.
Yeah.
He's always reading, exploring, constantly seeking that new knowledge.
He loves it.
He does. He has a great quote.
I love this one.
It's, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
That's so true.
I know.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a good one.
Learning is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah. And these books are a good reminder that even in the digital age, good copywriting, the fundamentals.
The fundamentals are still there?
They're still the same.
Yeah.
It's about connecting with your audience, telling stories, and creating those experiences that, move people.
Move them to action.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this so exciting, right?
It is. It is.
It's about more than just selling products.
Yeah.
It's about making a difference.
It is. So what does this all mean for you, dear listener? If you had to market something, what concept would you use? Think about the principles we've uncovered. The power of the concept. Emotion. Curiosity. Simplicity. Urgency.
Yes.
And that human connection.
That's the key, I think.
It is. It's not about formulas or tricks.
Yeah.
It's about that underlying psychology.
Yeah.
Those human desires.
It's like learning a new language?
The language of persuasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once you know it, you can use it to craft those messages that really resonate.
So as you go forth into the world, armed with this knowledge, remember that. Every interaction, every piece of content you create is an opportunity to connect, tell a story, and make a difference.
Make magic.
Yeah.
Make magic with your words.
Go make some magic, everyone. And until next time, keep diving deep.
It's about seeing the world through your customer's eyes, feeling what they feel, wanting what they want.
And only then can you really connect.
Right.
Deeper level,
Yeah.
But seeing through someone else's eyes can be a little tricky, right?
It can be tough.
You need humility.
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
But that's something these books encourage, too.
Oh, good. How do we get that?
Well, Sugarman talks about being open to feedback.
Okay.
Be willing to learn. And even admit when you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm not always great at that.
Me neither.
He tells this funny story, though.
Oh, I love this one.
About his sister.
The high school teacher?
Yeah. He had her proofread his copy.
I know, right?
Because she had a good eye for grammar.
The best.
And he wasn't afraid to take her critiques.
He wasn't. It's good to remember.
It is.
We can all benefit from an outside perspective.
Absolutely.
There's always room for improvement.
Yeah, there is. Always.
And, these books also touch on ethics and copywriting.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
It's important. Sugarman is big on honesty.
Right, and transparency.
Even if it means sometimes, highlighting a product's flaws.
He doesn't shy away from that.
He says that trying to deceive your audience will backfire.
Yeah.
People can sense when they're being manipulated.
They can. It erodes trust.
For sure.
Honesty, though, doesn't have to mean being boring, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
You can still be creative.
Absolutely. Find unique ways to present your ideas.
I like that. He talks about stepping outside your comfort zone.
Experiment.
Try new things.
Yeah.
And that's where the magic happens, right?
It is. Be bold. Be innovative.
Yes.
Take risks.
And
have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Sugarman says if you're not enjoying yourself, it'll show in your writing.
It will. The audience picks up on that.
Absolutely. They can feel it.
Love what you do, I guess.
Love what you do, yeah.
But don't be complacent.
No, keep pushing.
These books also encourage, keep learning, keep improving. Continuous learning.
Sugarman, he's all about curiosity.
Oh, he is.
Always reading, exploring.
Yeah. Always seeking out new knowledge.
I love that. He's got a great quote.
Oh, what is it?
The more you learn,
Yeah.
the more you realize you don't know.
That is so true.
I know. It's a good one.
It's a good reminder.
It is.
Learning is a journey.
Not a destination.
Mm.
And these books are a good reminder, too,
Yeah.
that in the digital age,
Mm-hmm.
good copywriting,
Yeah.
the fundamentals are still the same.
Yeah, they really are.
Connecting with your audience, telling those stories,
Yes.
and creating those experiences that really, move people.
Move them to action.
That's what makes this so exciting.
It is.
More than just selling products.
It's about making a difference.
It is, yeah. So what does this all mean for you, dear listener? If you had to market something, what concept would you use?
I love that.
Think about those principles we've uncovered.
Yeah.
Power of the concept.
Absolutely.
Curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Simplicity.
Oh, yeah.
Urgency.
Mm-hmm.
And that human connection.
That's it. That's the key.
I think it is, yeah. It's not about formulas or tricks.
No.
It's about the psychology.
Human desires.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like you're learning a language.
The language of persuasion.
That's it. And
Yeah.
once you know that language,
Yeah.
you can craft those messages that really resonate with people.
So as you go forth,
Yeah.
armed with this new knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
remember that every interaction,
Yeah.
every piece of content you create
Absolutely.
is an opportunity to connect,
Yeah.
tell a story,
Mm-hmm.
and make a difference.
Make some magic.
Make magic. Make magic with your words.
Go make some magic, everyone. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and check the link in the description to get your Pareto pack, mini guides to learn more from this and all the other